Trust me, this does not happen very often. So just last night, around 1 a.m. at midnight, I just finished watching the movie. I walk out of the screen. I'm entering this lift with a bunch of people. Everyone in this lift is talking about the film, but more than that, everyone could just feel each other's energy and everyone is mentally asking each other, did that just happen? And this is when I understood. If a movie can give you this kind of a feeling that it makes you rush home, just lie back on your sofa, take out your phone at 2 a.m. in the morning, enter Reddit, see all the story discussions and theories floating around the movie and make you want to be part of that discussion, that's when you know a film has truly won. To all of you on Insta or YouTube or Twitter who asked me to go watch this film, thank you so much, because if it was not for you, I wouldn't have known that this movie even existed. This film is one more proof that Malayalam cinema has become this introvert kid in the gang who seems quiet, who doesn't talk a lot in the group, but once you get to know them one-on-one, you had no idea how many secret stories and thoughts about deep life that are going to come at you. But just talking about Malayalam cinema before we get into EKO, if you know someone who's a huge fan of Malayalam movies, whether they are just falling in love with the movies or that they've loved these movies for decades, we just launched the Straight Outta Mollywood 2026 calendar on Fully Filmy. This one features the most iconic moments and memories from all of the Malayalam movies that we love. It comes with a free wooden stand that looks great on any desk, and it makes for a great gift, whether it's for Secret Santa or New Year's, whether you're getting it for a friend, a colleague, or someone in your family, or even yourself. I'm not judging, but go check out the product for yourself on fullyfilmy.in. I'm going to leave the product link in the description. But now let's get back to EKO. Honestly, I knew nothing about this film except the fact that it's by the same writer-director duo of Kishkinda Kandam, one of the best Malayalam films of 2024. And if you've not watched the movie, I'm going to try to get you to watch the movie in the same way that I did, with a completely clean blank slate, hopefully free of spoilers. So EKO is the third and final part of the Animal trilogy by screenwriter Bahul Ramesh. All of his three stories have an animal as the central element. In Kishkinda Kandam, it was the monkeys. In Kerala Crime Files Season 2, it was dogs. Even EKO has one very, very particular kind of a dog at its core. The relationship between a man and dog, what is our place in nature, what makes us different, but more than anything else, what makes us so similar. This is one thing that EKO deeply explores. And the way the film starts, you think that the story is about rare dog breeding, which itself is a very, very unique plot. But slowly you realize that's not the real story. It's actually about the hunt for a mystery man whose name is mentioned right under the title of the film in the poster. The Infinite Chronicles of Kuriyachan. So Kuriyachan is this mystery man. Some guys want to find him, some want to kill him, some are just trying to understand who he was, who he is, and some are asking the question, is this guy even alive? He's someone who has a lot of property, a lot of assets in this particular part of Kerala, and that's the reason you think that a lot of people are behind him. And on the other hand, you get the feeling that he's committed some big major crime that very, very few people know about, and if the general public gets to know about it, those few people might be in trouble, so they want to finish him off. So the way the film unfolds is that you're introduced to just a few of these characters who may or may not be connected to Kuriyachan, but with every 10-15 minutes, everything just keeps flipping, shifting, changing all the time. So if you see a character and you're rooting for him right now, he might turn out to be the bad guy. And if you suspect some particular character, he might turn out to be the good guy, and the character that you least look at, the character that you almost ignore, might just become the turning point of the story. That is the beauty of this screenplay. Just like Kishkinda Kandam, one clue is dropped here and something else explodes there. Something that happens in the past has a big impact in the present. Every 15 minutes, the film keeps on making you go, oh. You're always trying to connect the dots, and by the time you get to the climax, you go, oh. Peak cinema. If I had to compare the spirit of this film, not story-wise but just emotionally, it has to be Christopher Nolan's The Prestige. That film tries to fool the audience every now and then, not because the audience are fools, but because the audience wants to be fooled. And the closer you watch, the closer you pay attention, the more you actually get fooled. That film has one of the greatest twists in movie history, but not like other films where a twist is just kept for shock value. The twist in Prestige hits so deeply, it's so emotional, and that's exactly what EKO also feels like. Like a magic trick that was meant to make your mind explode but actually ends up stealing your heart. And I know for sure that Prestige is one of the biggest inspirations behind Kishkinda Kandam and this movie, because Bahul Ramesh, who's the writer of this film, in this reel he speaks about his favorite movies that inspired him, and the number one movie is The Prestige.
All time favorite ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഏറ്റവും ഇഷ്ടമുള്ള പടം പ്രസ്റ്റീജ് ആണ്. നോളന്റെ The Prestige ആണ്.
He's a man of taste. Apart from the ending shot, that's an absolute banger. There is this 20-minute flashback chapter in the first half of the film. It takes place all the way in Malaysia. It just happens between these 4 characters who speak in different languages to each other based on the convenience. Malay, Malayalam, English. The entire chapter keeps shifting between these different languages and it never feels confusing. It just flows so smoothly. But more than that, that particular sequence makes you feel curious, amazed, sweet, warm, scared, anxious, and empathetic and so satisfied, only to completely fool you once again. This chapter is like a film in itself and it shows the true potential of Malayalam cinema, how global it can truly go. And it's not just this scene, there's just so much more to love in this film. The soundtrack by Mujib Majid, which is like the backbone of the film story. Immersive, atmospheric, and truly international. Sandeep Pradeep's character and his performance. Right from every micro expression on his face to all the stunts that he does in this film. I spoke about him in my video about Padakkalam and I say the same thing over here. An actor to have so much range in just his first few films right at the beginning of his career, it's insane. Out of nowhere you get a surprise like Saurabh Sachdeva who plays the central character of Kuriyachan. And usually I don't like North Indian actors being cast in Malayalam films because of dubbing issues, obviously. But when you see this guy perform, especially in the Malaysia chapter, you just forget every other issue because his performance is just so absorbing. But the biggest surprise in the casting and acting department is these 2 actors who I've never seen before. Simzi Faye as Soy and Biana Momin as Mulati Chetati. I know I've completely butchered the names, I'm really sorry about the pronunciation, but my love for them remains the same. They literally are the soul of this film and they also show the role of women in this film and in society also. What it was, what it is, and what it can be without getting preachy. But the real heroes of this film, like the other 2 stories in the Animal trilogy, are the animals, the dogs. You know how there are some films that make you go, how the did they shoot this? To give you an example of a Malayalam film, when I watched Manjumal Boys for the first time, I was so amazed by how they shot the entire cave sequence. Even if they used sets and human actors, it was still so unbelievable to watch. But even all of those elements are something that are in a filmmaker's control. But over here, you have animals. They don't exactly function the way that you want to. But still, to make the dogs stand together and act as a pack, then to make them attack in sets of 2, run from this point to that point, and that one unimaginable thing that you never thought a dog could do in real life. That is peak movie magic. But let me be honest, the makers have tried to replicate the same success formula or the tone and the pacing of Kishkinda Kandam in this film also, which is completely okay. It's completely okay to have your own formula, your own format, your own structure. But here, for some reason, I was getting impatient. There were many moments during the middle of the film where I was getting a little uneasy. I was constantly asking myself, when are they going to get to the point? I was talking to the characters and asking them, bro, what do you even want? So yeah, I found the pace to be a little too slow at times, a little too beating around the bush, and maybe that's just my ADHD, I don't know. But I genuinely found this as a flaw. But once again, everything changes when you get to that end. And when you watch that ending, you have to just forgive every other flaw that exists. Like a lot of you recommended me to go watch this film on the big screen, it's only fair that I do the same for all of you. So if this video made you even a little bit curious, if you have the budget, if you have the time, go watch EKO on the big screen. It's easily one of the best Malayalam films of the year, if not one of the best Indian films of the year. Go follow me on Nokio where I rate, review and recommend my favorite movies. Just FYI, I am the most followed creator there on the app. I'm at 9925 followers. Let's make it 10k very quickly. But seriously, go check out the rest of the app. If you love movies, you're going to love the app. And a few extra recommendations before we go. The first is Pluribus on Apple TV+. It's a show by the creator of Vince Gilligan, the creator of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, some of my favorite TV shows of all time. And the second is All Her Fault on Jio Hotstar. All I'm going to tell you is just watch the first episode of both these shows. I bet you that you can't stop without watching the rest of the show. But that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one.